What happens if you get a low appraisal? If you're a buyer and you have a financing contingency and the appraisal comes back low, the first thing you need to do is give seller notice and a copy of the appraisal. The seller now has 10 days to respond. The seller now has 4 options. They can either pay to have a reappraisal, and the buyer can see if their lender will accept that. They can lower the purchase price to the amount of the appraisal. They can lower the purchase price somewhat and ask the buyer to come up with additional funds to meet the appraised amount, or they can just reject the appraisal. Of those 4 options, if the seller asks the buyer to contribute additional funds or they reject the appraisal, the buyer then has 3 days to terminate the contract and get their money back. In reality, in most cases when this happens, the buyer and the seller end up splitting the difference. The seller comes down a little bit on the purchase price, the buyer contributes some additional funds, and both parties meet in the middle in order to keep the transaction together.